welcome back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Bo and Golf. And like I have mentioned a little bit of the updates on the political arena, at this point there has been a talk at the Pheu Thai party. MPs are trying their best to see a way out, and they actually, one of them, Kun Samat Kaew has proposed that perhaps instead of using the Article 7 requesting for appointed Prime Minister from His Majesty the King, perhaps they should have some changes on Article 291 instead, and using that particular article to actually amend to move the country along. Now, he said, Kun Samat said that he saw that the proposal from People's Democratic Reform Committee, which is the PDRC, or the anti-government protesters at this point, led by Kun Suthep Thuksuban, is actually impossible and unconstitutional. Hence, Kun Samat said that a proposal was so unconstitutional that the current charter amendment required that the Prime Minister has to be a MP and also must be selected by the peer vote by all the MPs. Therefore, that was according to the law, and it should not be changed. And Kun Samat said that Kun Suthep should not cite the October the 14th, 1973 as the example for using of Article 7, because the situation was quite different. And he said that if the Prime Minister dissolved the House, the Charter requires a new election to be held within 45 days anyway, instead of actually have the appointed one. And he said that the amendment or changes to Article 291 to the state at that time, in time of the political crisis, and non-prime ministers and non-partition prime minister actually can be appointed. So instead of using Article 7 requesting for the prime minister, using Article 291 instead, and that will allow the country to have a prime minister that is actually not part of the member of parliament, as well as the non-partition prime minister to be appointed. Now, Kun Samat said that after the non-partition prime minister solved political crisis, that particular person can dissolve the House later. And of course, at this point, you would think that perhaps everything would be moving along with this particular suggestions, but it seems like from the Democrat Party side, Kun Chamanoni Interakumansut did not agree with that. He said that, well, this is just one of Pheu Thai's tactic to actually drag everything along. And he said that at this point, the Democrat Party is actually quite upset with the Prime Minister's stance, because ever since the trying to amend the amnesty bill, as well as changing of the selection of the senators, Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra has never come out and apologized for what her party did, or everybody's that have done by proposing those bills to begin with. So they were quite not very happy about this particular, stance of the Prime Minister of not saying anything or apologizing for whatever they seems to think that is wrong. So at this point, I'm not quite sure which direction we are going, because if one group say one thing and another group say, no, we're not going to take it, I don't know, it might drag on quite a bit.
Okay, well, still talking about people who are not really happy, quite unhappy, and in particular 135 academics actually who have come out to oppose the CUTP, or the Council of University Presidents of Thailand, and this was basically an open letter to oppose the CUPT. Now, in particular, the academics have said that they're trying to tell the CUPT not to use the royal institution as an excuse or whatnot for what they're doing. And in the letter, it basically says that the CUPT does not properly represent the academics' views, or, the other universities in particular in the country, and it doesn't reflect the country's benefit in the long term due to 4 particular reasons. So, number 1, the first reason is the CUPT had meetings that did not include the universities or the academics within these 135 academics universities involved. And the university's mottos does not support the use of the university as a tool in representing any particular goal. The second reason is that they say that the CUPT suggested resolution is actually against the democratic means. The solution does not truly represent democratic means, and instead it allows a lot of space for unclear interpretation that can be seen as least democratic. Number 3 is CUPT's announcement so far seems to benefit one particular group in particular. And the academics further explained that the CUPT should instead try to come out to ask for the conflicting sides to stop or ask for their understanding for the sake of the university or for the sake of the students. Now, they did touch upon the fact that these universities, some of them, announced the closures. And the academics say that they know that it's for the safety of the students. But the university also has to be very careful because any type of move that they make, this huge move of closing the universities, could actually symbolize or mean that they are supporting or taking sides or allowing for some groups to continue, go full throttle with what they're doing instead of asking them to say, you know what, we're still going to open our universities. You guys should actually stop. For the sake of the
That's the thing.
country.
It's a matter of opinion, isn't it? Because it is for the safety of students as well.
That's true. And just to mention, apart from mentioning about the students, right? The fourth one is that the academics want to see neutrality. They say that the university should actually be neutral and not take a political stance. And to make it worse, if it turns out that the university is taking a political stance for some particular board members, of a personal kind of political preference of only one person, then that is just not right. It doesn't represent the whole university. The university should be open to different opinions, whether it's within the university itself and also for the society. They should instead be paving way for democracy or for the freedom of expression, and not for one particular person.
I think I mentioned about that before too, that there has been a talks and trying to propose that all those people, especially academics, not to take side and not to attach their university names after what they believed in. Now, we're going to have to take a short break, but at this point, Ramkhamhaeng University will be open on December the 9th, despite the fact that they're not sure which direction they're going in yet. But December the 9th, that's when they will open their university once again. Now, let's take a short break. Kun Chen will come back talking about policies and Thailand reform.